Is self-interest the basis of ethical actions? That's the claim of ethical egoism. In contrast to psychological egoism, which was a descriptive theory of human motivation, as we've seen, ethical egoism is a prescriptive theory about what we should do, how we should act. Its surprising claim is that we should only ever act in our self-interest, which is often interpreted long-term rather than simply our short-term perceived interest. Now, I think there are major problems with ethical egoism, but in this brief video, I'll only highlight what I think it has going for it. To begin with, there's a lot of overlap between ethical egoism and what ordinary moral theories would tell us we should do or avoid doing. For example, most criminal actions are not really in our long-term interest. The odds are against those who murder or commit fraud, for example. So you could say that doing good is good for us in many ways. This is why some people interpret the Greek moral philosophers, Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle, as ethical egoists, because they clearly teach that being good is good for you. As Socrates teaches in the Republic, Plato's masterpiece, doing harm divides your soul. Now, this idea, I think, is a big influence on J.K. Rowling's notion of the Horcrux in Harry Potter. It's the same idea, only she illustrates it in a much more dramatic way. When you do evil, it literally rips apart your soul in that unforgettable idea from Harry Potter. For Plato and Socrates, and also we'll see later for Aristotle, being good is in one's interest because it creates harmony of your soul. So even if you could get away with doing wrong, even if you had, as Socrates says, the ring of Gyges, which could make you invisible, and you could do all kinds of things, and no one would know, it's still in your interest to be good because you will know, your soul will know. It will divide your soul and destroy you in some way. Now, a lot of great literature and film illustrates this, from Dostoevsky to others, right? And there's, of course, in many religions, the idea of implicit karma, that you do good, and in some way, good will come back to you, somehow. If you do bad, somehow things will go wrong for you. Adam Grant, the Wharton professor who wrote Give and Take, illustrates this in his book, showing that a lot of people who are what he calls takers end up being sabotaged by what he calls matchers. And those who are givers, or who put other people first a lot of the time, actually do very well, even better than takers in most industries, the studies show. So there's a lot of reasons to be good, and that's what ethical egoism teaches, that being good is good for you in some way. So that's what it has going for it. But there are serious problems as well, as we'll see next time.